Oh boy, pets and Reddit. You know, it's going to go smoothly. OP posts an r/mildly infuriating about having to take their cat to the vet to get prescription medication. Proceeds to fight everyone, telling them it's a good idea for the vet to see the patient for prescription strength meds. I mean, it is kind of funny how many people think like they'll just get a pet and they'll never have to take it to the vet ever. That's a lot of wishful thinking, man. I appreciate your positive outlook on life because we have two cats, hardly ever have any issues, hardly ever go to the vet. We have another cat who we've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on more than once to keep alive. Sometimes it just be like that. It just happens. You never know. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. Apologies for the formatting issues. A user in r/mildly infuriating makes a post. Let's see. Complaining about having to bring their cat to the vet's office to get flea medication. Commenters rightfully point out that it's a good idea for the doctor to see the patient before prescribing medication. OP can't seem to grasp that over-the-counter medication has different rules than prescription medication. Proceeds to fight everyone in the comments about it. Okay, so you got that prescribed flea and tick medication, which is a thing, by the way. In case you didn't know, there is flea and tick medication that this post is just not loading. There we go. Vets refuse to give flea meds unless you bring your cat to the office. You can buy, by the way, you can buy flea, like the stuff that goes on their neck. You can buy that from a store. I'm assuming when you say flea meds, it's like a dewormer of some sort, or like they're special. Like there is medication that you still have to, whatever. I don't know. It seems like it would be obvious. Veterinarians in the U.S. legally have to physically examine an animal before they can give prescription medications if they haven't examined it within 1 year to establish a valid doctor-patient relationship. If you don't want to take the cat to the vet, just buy good over-the-counter preventatives that work, like Advantage, for example. If this vet has seen your pet within the last year and is still refusing to dispense flea preventatives to an otherwise healthy pet without an office visit, I'd find a new vet. Or take your pets to... You should probably, if you have a pet, you should probably take them to the vet on a somewhat regular basis. I understand it can be annoying, but because the vet is more expensive than it needs to be sometimes, but that's kind of one of those responsibilities that comes with having pets. You know, it's kind of like when you have a kid. You can't really complain like, oh, but these diapers, like, why didn't you think of the cost of diapers? Why didn't you think of the cost of the food of feeding the child? Why didn't you think of the cost of clothing the child? This is only a weight issue, and I can weigh them myself. Same reason you weigh your child and dose according to the instructions. Get them. Oh, man. If your vet prescribes your cat a medication without seeing them and they end up experiencing side effects and worst case scenario, loss of life, that would make the doctor liable and up for license termination. Wow, that makes sense to me. Almost as if the doctor or veterinarian has a reason to want to see the cat and weigh it and get a proper prescription written up. Who knows? Your pediatrician writes scripts for your child without ever meeting them. He advises us on over-the-counter meds that aren't labeled for infant use unless directed by a pediatrician due to weight limits. For instance, infant Tylenol liquid under 20 pounds. Thing is, these aren't OTC meds, they are prescription, which is a much stricter requirement with prescription medications for oversight by the prescriber. When they prescribe a specific dose of something, they're certifying that they have a professional confidence that they are prescribing the right amount based on doing their due diligence with the patient. It's not a prescribed dosage. It's prepackaged dose based on weight range. Does not require any doctoring. But it's prescribed. But you're saying it's not a prescribed dosage. If it wasn't a prescribed dosage, then you would just get Advantage from the store. What he's doing, what he has to allow for a prescription to be written for, requires weighing the cat and doing his due diligence to make sure that he's getting the appropriate amount to the cat. But I don't know, whatever, man. Air Force vet, 1987. Dogs with heartworm disease are at a higher risk of serious side effects from Advantage Multi. Same issue in over-the-counter meds as seen above. So why is it okay to buy over-the-counter with same risk? There are no over-the-counter heartworm meds in the U.S. Whoops. Buy them over the counter. Why would a vet take on the responsibility of prescribing meds to your pet without seeing them? OTC stuff is dumbed down on purpose so you have to pay a vet. Are you... I'm sorry, man. Do you really think that's the reason why it's dumbed down, or do you think that the stuff that you have to go to a vet for to get a prescription for might just be a little bit more complicated and therefore require a prescription? It's a cat. The point of a med being prescribed rather than over the counter is that you can't just go get it. It needs to be prescribed so they can determine if it's appropriate or not. It's a cat. You're one of those that treats my animals instead of just letting them get ravaged by fleas and parasites. Get the fuck. Kind of like how your doctor has to see you every so often before refilling prescriptions. OP. Except this is only a weight issue and I can weigh them myself. Your pediatrician writes scripts for your child without ever meeting. Okay, we already read this. If a vet prescribes your cat medication without seeing them, they end up experiencing side effects. And worst case, wait, he initially posted a gif of a lady laughing. I didn't see that. Did I miss that? Oh no, he has that here. Probably your vet's reaction when you ask for meds without bringing your pet in. This guy just didn't think that like cat's getting... He's one of those people that gets a cat or a dog and they're like, they can handle themselves, right? Like they won't die. His hip hurts, he'll walk it off, right? He definitely won't have a lifelong issue. Why can't I get an MIR or an MIR? The dyslexia is rough. An MRI without a technician. I can do it myself. True. This, but unironically. You can if you own a machine. Do you own a pharmacy? No, but some prescriptions are dangerous. Flea meds aren't. Flea meds can cause all sorts of adverse effects. Well, you know, one of our cats got a run-of-the-mill, I think it was a rabies shot at the time. And she'd gotten a rabies shot before, but what the vet that initially gave her, because we got her when she was a kitten and then we moved multiple states, so we had a new vet. The old vet didn't put that she was actually extremely allergic to the active versions of the vaccine. And so, but it could be prevented by giving her a little Benadryl beforehand. We didn't know that. So she actually almost died from that. But luckily, our vet, the new vet, knew immediately like what was going on. Like, oh, this is probably a bad rate, but like we can do this. And they brought her in. And, you know, it is what it is. But as it turns out, some of the even more common shots that you get, like the regular run-of-the-mill stuff that you give to your cats, can sometimes have an extreme effect on them. But, you know, it is what it is. Dumb rule, loophole bullshit. Yeah, this is one of those guys who's just like, it's one of those guys who's, he just gets pets and he's just like, yeah, they'll be fine, right? I can just let them do whatever. They'll figure out how to feed themselves. Flea meds aren't dangerous. Oh God, what a stupid take. You're essentially putting bug poison on your pet. Of course, you have to be careful with that shit. Yeah, there's a reason why when you apply that stuff that you specifically have to apply it to a certain spot in between their shoulder blades. It's really hard for them to get to. Because they shouldn't be looking at it like crazy. Some are stronger than others. Very interesting, very interesting. All exams are done away from the counter in another back room. Have you ever been to a vet? Yeah, put me in the group of, what? I've had multiple cats over multiple years and used multiple vets, and except during COVID, when restrictions were in place, I've never had this happen. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I get to go back there for, like, the exam, but if they're getting, like, a shot or something, they've never done that. And well, no, they've done some shots in the same room. But whenever they got, whenever one of the cats had to get, like, basically a piss test, they took her into the back, and they also gave her shots while she was back there. But I've seen them give shots in the same room. I've been there in the exam room. Maybe not all the shots. I guess it kind of depends. One of our cats can be kind of an asshole, so I think some vets might take her out back and smack her around a little bit, and then give her the shot, and then come back and go, "She was great. She was an angel." I'm like, OP complaining about how Reddit is anti-religion and then arguing with a bot moderator. No. Oh God. Please stop posting about Reddit. Opinions on Reddit and all associated topics are not allowed. Any attempts to evade our filters to continue posting about Reddit will be met with a ban. Reddit is an anti-religion wealth echo chamber. Touchy today, aren't we? Gonna go cry in a corner now? It's literally a bot. It's a bot that detects when you're complaining about Reddit and unpopular opinion that just automatically deletes it. It's an auto moderator bot. It is not a real person. Gonna go cry in a corner now. There's nothing like being rough, like all tough with the auto moderator on a stuff. Oh man, that is rough. I thought the chair force had smart people. Hey, I have family that, well, not in the Air Force anymore. They're out now, but let's relax. Chair force. Some are, though. Some are chair force. Mother-in-law got a new dog, and the vet sent them home with the flea stuff you put in the back of their neck. The vet sent them home with too strong of a dose. Mother-in-law applied it when they got home, and within an hour of giving it to the dog became lethargic and unresponsive. Required an emergency vet visit to save him. Even everyday dog medications can be dangerous. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah, this is just a chair force guy who... Man, like... So he complains about Advantage because it's dumbed down in order to get people to go to the vet. But I don't know, man. He clearly has to understand that the stuff at the vet is stronger. Like he seems to think Advantage is dumbed down when in reality it's just not as strong as what you get at the vet. But the reason why you have to get a prescription for the stuff at the vet is because they have to make sure that the cat has a certain weight. I don't know. This person's just stupid. I mean, but it is what it is. There's cat owners and dog owners like this, man. I'm telling you right now. I've seen so many dog owners that are like, yeah, I put him outside and he just hangs out there and, I tie him to the pole and he'll be fine. Or people that kick their dog. You know how often I see people that kick their dog or I don't see them do it, but like they get caught doing it and then their dog randomly like attacks somebody or gets aggressive with them, and they'll be like, I don't know where this aggressiveness came from. And it's like, it's probably learned behavior, idiot. Turns out kicking a dog around doesn't exactly make it, not insanely anxious, but it is what it is, man.